Hello, my name is Maria Fernanda, and I'm the host of IO Scholarship Superheroes podcast.
Easy, easy, so easy.
This podcast is only a 10-minute podcast that highlights the best kept secret of IO scholars, job recruiters, and community influencers. And most importantly, we want to provide you financial resources to go to college debt-free and become financially savvy. I completely agree. And listen, IO scholars, if I had back in time a Conectado that gave me a roadmap to go to Stanford, and you are the connector for also students to see themselves in the boardrooms in big companies, big high growth tech companies, and you did it with your background, and I'm so impressed because you have a Navy background and also technology. So there is a lot of intersection between, I see discipline in you, courage, determination. So who was your biggest mentor? Because I'm very curious who helped you through your career.
Yeah, well, I think there's three. One is my abuelita, right? Who
Oh.
from the very beginning said, she used to tell me, because I grew up doing sports, martial arts, and there was one time where I went to a tournament where I thought, oh no, there's no way when it's a national tournament, and I was one of the favorites. I'm not gonna win. She goes, you're gonna come home with the trophy. You're gonna come home and for sure I came home with the trophy. And she said, I told you, someone's gonna do it. Why not you? Right? And so that's where that wiring comes from there. My mom, who was also in early tech, she was in telecommunications for as a civilian in the military. And then in my career, there's a woman, and not a Latina woman, but she thinks she's Latina, and her name is Rebecca Jacoby. And Rebecca, if you talk to Rebecca, she is tough. She is tough. Everybody, is like, is super smart, her heart is, bigger than anybody I know. But she always had my back. Even when I made mistakes, she always, but she saw something in me that I probably didn't even see in myself. And she's like, no, I'm gonna invest in you. And she became not only my mentor, because mentors talk with you, sponsors talk about you. When I'm not in the room and those people are talking about promotions and who's going to be the next chief information officer, those people are talking about you. And you want them to say things that are going to help you promote, not demote. And so Rebecca was the most influential and sort of my biggest sponsor in my career. And to this day, I still tell stories about her. But if you look at the pattern, they were all women, right? So my message to the women in the audience is, you're stronger. You're definitely stronger than me. So someone's going to do it. Why not you? Right? Someone's going to be that leader, that mentor, that change maker. Why not you?
Mm-hmm. I agree with you in terms of my biggest mentor was my grandmother too, a very hard, resilient, Italian woman that went to Argentina with nothing, and then she created a life for us, for our whole family. So, and every time I interview an IO scholar, they say, my biggest mentor is my father or my mother is very connected to our roots. Mm-hmm. And actually, I agree with you that somebody that believes in you is so important in your career. That's why it's very important that students understand that sometimes when they win a scholarship, it's not about only the grades. The grades are excellent, but the scholarship committee, they always look at, okay, how resilient is this student? What is he going to contribute overall to the whole society? Because nowadays we're talking about STEM, and these are the highest paying jobs in the market. So we have to contribute and pay back to this new generation that they have the skill set, but they need, as you said, a sponsor, somebody that they believe in, that a community that they can lean on, such as Conectado and IO Scholarship. So I really appreciate that you share that that advice, and also what will be like your favorite quote when things get really tough? What do you rely on in your mindset to stay strong?
I think there's two things. And I think one of the things that you asked me early on, and maybe I didn't answer, was what I would tell myself at 15 years old, because I didn't know what I didn't know.
Uh-huh.
But going through my journey, as I say, from, I have this compass now that I have. So I think about things in frameworks. And right now, my biggest framework is this compass. And in the north of the compass is my purpose. And I've learned about my purpose. But in the east, where you rise, is your passion. You rise with passion. So making sure that you're doing what you're passionate about. So that way you can build your platform, which is yourself, and that's where you grow, and your expertise comes, so that you're a differentiator. That's the platform. That's what holds you up. That will give you, on the West, your perspectives. Your perspective is where all of this comes together. So it's almost like wisdom, right? And so I've kind of gone through that circle, and now I'm kind of going through it again, being an entrepreneur, being an investor, being a board member. But it's like, how do you go from your purpose, where you're from, mi pueblo, Colorado, to your passion, which is about education and classroom, to your passion, to your platform. In my case, it's about technology, and my perspectives, which is about now bringing that to the boardroom. And so think about that. And for me, it's always been, remember where you came from to inspire where you're going.
Visit IO Scholarships, as we have access to thousands of STEM scholarships based on your unique ethnic background, waiting for you today. Some of them only require 2.5 GPA and no essay. Remember, the more you apply, the more chances you have to win. Apply today. That's a very good thought, and being grateful and resilient and having a purpose, and what you have a very strong framework and perspective. And actually you forgot your big heart, but also we have to keep in mind that we do this, but the whole economy, if, as you know, Guillermo, trillions of dollars will be wasted if we don't build this diverse STEM pipeline. Every single company will be effective if we don't build this diverse STEM pipeline of the future. So that will impact all the companies. So this is not only a nice thing to do, as you said, but also from the business perspective, the return of investment is for everybody. For the student that will get recruited from a company that really value their diverse background and creativity. And it will also, like help corporations. I always say, if I have two students, one that have the same qualifications as another one that didn't win a scholarship, but the other one won it, you can see that the other student had the willpower, despite the financial situation and despite all the challenges that we are going through, to make it happen and to go to the next level.
That's right. And to your point earlier, was there's still money out there. So just because you didn't get that one, there's another 10 scholarships. There's another 10 opportunities. So back to your point about resiliency. So don't let that bring, it's like, I can't tell you how many times people told me, no, you can't do this, or no, we can't fund this or whatever. And it's like, guess what? I'm living in San Diego. Have a house in Maui. I have, it's like, okay, someone's going to do it. Why not me? And so you have to be resilient. You have to be, con ganas, all the time, right? And so the money's out there, or else it's going to stay on the table somewhere. Someone's going to waste
Exactly.
it, right?
Exactly. And we want to make sure the other thing that is important to understand from your perspective, because you went to community college and you
Yeah.
went also to a university. And as you know, right now, a lot of Latinos cannot afford to, for example, start with a Stanford
Yeah.
or an MIT, but then in the long run, that might be their journey. So what message will you give to students that basically you went through both paths?
Mhm.
What will be your message in
Yeah.
terms of like community college versus the university?
Yeah. No, a lot of times I talk to students and I say, well, I don't think I can do it because I come from this place. Or I said, guess what? I come from the east side. I come from there too. So my out was I went to the Navy, but I got a scholarship so I can go to college. But my first, because I could afford it, was community college. And then made enough, had enough credits to go and transfer to a 4-year college. And so the message is that there are ways. So don't give up. Have that resilience. And if you have to do community college first, there's nothing wrong with that at all. If someone could become the CIO of a $60 billion company, then and go into community college, then why not you, right? So don't just discard. Well, I can't go to that 4 year, so I'm not going to go. It's like no, there are probably more Hispanic serving institutions that are community colleges than 4-year institutions. So there's always a pathway to get your education.
I agree. I completely agree. And the other thing is that just to finish this podcast, I want you to tell me which are the three main soft skills that do you think like students in the STEM industry need to have to go from the classroom to the boardroom and to high growth tech companies to be hired by growth.
Yeah, no, it's great because it's soft skills and I call them life skills, right?
Yeah.
Um, and if you want to actually get understand it even more, we have a curriculum in Conectado about life skills, about career readiness, and and so I would say number one is courage, right? Having the courage, having that ability to go, well, someone's going to do it, why not me? Number two is when you have that courage, you build confidence. And when I'm confident, I could go talk to Maria Fernanda about that job. I could go talk to her about an opportunity that I want. Three is then I learn how to communicate. How do I tell the story about where I came from, where I'm going, and why I'm important? Why me, right? And then I would say, don't forget about one other piece, and that is building your community. So, we talk there. You can see there's a C pattern here, and the community is somehow they elevated you, or somehow they pushed you up. So don't forget to pull up the next ones, and that's the only way that we're going to keep scaling. And with technology, we're going to keep pushing up and pulling up this next generation.
That's very important, Guillermo. And the last piece, be part of Conectado, that will provide you the roadmap for access to opportunity and to grow in your career path. So again, thank you so much, Guillermo. And that concludes episode 25 of IO Scholarship. If you want to know more about how to relate to these amazing topics, then stay tuned to the upcoming episode. And a free way to support us is by leaving a 5-star review, and also tell all your friends and family members about our podcast, and let me know what you enjoy about our podcast so we can fine tune it for the next time. Again, thank you so much, Guillermo, and remember the power of the 3 I's for innovation, inspiration, and invention. Have a good rest of your day, Guillermo.